It's a kind of fight that I think Danny's going to get better from. I guess I went from being a championship level fighter one time in my career to maybe just being the pesky guy that it's hard to look good against. You know, I feel like I can still compete, but you know, it's just at this level of fighter, maybe I'm just, you know, I come up short against. You know, so it's a tough decision to just keep going. You know, in my boxing career. I think, like as I was saying, I think this is the kind of fight that's going to make Danny better. I could see that I was have an annoying style, but Danny made little adjustments in there, and I'll tell you what he did. It was early on in the fight. You know, I was trying to win the jab war, and it was, you know, going back and forth. I felt like, you know, Danny had a slight advantage in the rounds, but I felt like I was in there. You know, I felt like I just couldn't get complete control of the fight. I felt like in moments I was grasping it, but then he'd take it back, you know, and that's a testament to his character and a testament to the championship level that he's on. There was a moment in the middle of the fight, I don't know what rounds, maybe 5 and 6 or around there, where I started realizing I had him missing and I didn't have to step back anymore. You know, I remember telling myself, wow, I'm seeing everything right from where I'm standing, you know? Because early on, you know, he's a heavy puncher and I have to get his timing, so a lot of the things he threw, I would get ground. And I started realizing, like, round 5 or 6, I don't remember exactly, I guess I have to see the tape, but I started, like, making a miss right from where I was standing, you know? And sometimes we'd smother, end up chest to chest, and end up in a clinch, but I started thinking to myself, man, if I can keep doing this, I'm not going to waste any energy, you know? And I don't have to give ground. You know, maybe I can start backing him up off my jab, you know? And that's what I was trying to do. And then Danny made a really good adjustment. He started jabbing at my shoulder and at my chest, but really well. And he did 2 things with that. For one, he disrupted my timing. Number 2, actually did a few things, maybe more than 2 things. One, he disrupted my timing. Number 2, made my jab shoulder really sore. So it made it harder to jab at him. And then number 3, I was trying to make him pay for jabbing with me. Because, you know, they say you don't hook with a hooker, you jab with a jabber. So I said, you know what, if he's going to jab with the jabber, I want to make him pay by coming over the top with counter right hands, you know? And I kind of expected him to try to jab with me at times in the fight, so we worked on some counter right hands in camp, over the top of the jab, but what his hard jabs to the chest and shoulder did was it would rock back my momentum, because on a counter right hand, you're pulling your body weight back, and you're pulling it over the top of the jab. When I would pull back my body weight to try to counter over his jab was real heavy right here. So I couldn't bring back the momentum, because you basically change your momentum twice. You're going back and forward, you're rocking. So I would try to rock back, but his jab would hit me right here, and it was like, you know, I couldn't bring my momentum back forward over the top of the jab. So it was a really good adjustment. And what it did was it kept backing me up, and it gave him the command of the pace, the control of the fight again. Again, I mean, in spots, I felt like I still could grasp control, but just not enough to control the fight. And then, again, he got me with a good shot. It was probably the last round. Probably right before they stopped it, maybe 20, 30 seconds before, an overhand right hit me in my ear, and it kind of messed up my eardrum a little bit. And from there, you know, it was, you know, he kind of built up to the stoppage. At first, I was mad about the stoppage, but then in hindsight, you know, it was fine. You know, I'm not the 25-year-old kid that fought Cotto anymore, you know. That fight, no matter what the ref would have done, if he would have stopped that, I would have been pissed off. I would have always been pissed off. But at 34 years old, maybe I don't bite my teeth as much anymore. In the moment I do. I mean, again, in the moment I was mad, but when I think about it afterwards, you know, Arthur McCanty made a good stoppage. You know, props to the commission, to the inspectors in the corner, the doctor, and Arthur McCanty for doing a great job refereeing. And Danny Garcia is a good fighter. I think he's going to move on to good things. And like I said, I think it's the kind of fight that makes him better. You know, he was forced to think in there, he was forced to make some adjustments. I'm a pesky guy. I'm annoying in there to fight. But Danny stayed calm. He's got a lot of character. He didn't show any frustration, and he made the adjustments he needed to make. And I just want to give him props. And this is probably my last fight. I don't think I have it in me to get back to the training camp and make weight. Man, you know, I mean, I made weight great this fight. Props to him already. He had me on a great diet. You know, I've always eaten healthy in camp, but you know, there's certain foods in, even if they're healthy, they're not good for making weight at certain spots. And so Memo really taught me a lot. So props to him. But still a lot of work, man. you still gotta bite down and be disciplined and whatnot. You still gotta work hard in camp. You know, I don't think I want to start over. I'm gung ho. I gotta go 0 to 100. You know, I didn't come back on a tune-up. I had a tune-up scheduled in May. He's a decent fighter in Danny O'Connor, but I just wanted to jump right back in the big mix. Maybe in hindsight, maybe taking on a lesser fighter would have been good. Coming back, jumping right back in the mix with Danny Garcia after 16 months, maybe it wasn't so smart. But you know what? I don't even regret it, man. I fought a great fighter tonight. I was happy to share the ring with a great fighter. I've shared the ring with many great fighters in my career. I've come up short sometimes, but if you look at the combined records of the guys that have beaten me in my career, you know, I didn't take any shortcuts, that's for sure. You know, I did this the hard way. And, you know, maybe it accumulated more losses than certain other fighters, but the resume that I built up and the guys that I fought and didn't duck, I think you'd be hard-pressed to find a lot of guys that took this route. You know, sometimes it wasn't even my choice. I can't say it was always my choice to take on the toughest fights. Sometimes it was, like this time it was, but you know, sometimes I was in positions where I just had to take tough fights in tough spots. But you know, we made it happen in key points in my career. We just couldn't make it happen tonight. And you know, I thank you guys, you know, for covering my career. The last 14 years has been fun. It's been a fun ride. A lot of ups and downs, roller coaster. But if it has to end in Brooklyn, at least it ends at home. And not in Ukraine, like so many of us thought 3 years ago. That would have been a messed up place to end it, you know? So, it started in Brooklyn. If it ends in Brooklyn, I got no regrets. And I hope Team Garcia goes on to do great things. And I hope I go on to commentate for a lot of years.